I almost, sounds bizarre, I almost manifested in giving a flop.
The biggest franchise in the world has been offered to me for just 2 days of work. I said, I'm not going to do it.
My husband was like that with Ranveer. क्या बर्फी कर रहे हो? क्या ये movie?
Shahid Kabir Singh. Who was in it? Kiara.
So don't say.
So lovely to have all of you on Film Companion. As I was watching the trailer for JugJugg Jeeyo, a film about difficult marriages, and there is of course the lovely line that you say about बहुत सी अधूरी लड़ाइयों की थकान. I was really thinking about the irony, because the truth is that the three of you could be brand ambassadors for the institution of marriage, right? You have enjoyed marriages that lasted decades. Your story is incredible. You saw your wife in school and decided this is the woman I'm marrying, which sounds totally like a Bollywood film. So I have to ask, did you, while you were shooting, because what happens between partners is so complicated and so delicate, did you improvise? Did you bring in anything from your life to what your characters were doing?
I think with our scenes, what we did a lot was we did a lot of real life chores that you do, just changing clothes, throwing, keeping a glass here, there. There's a lot of movement because you don't stand and talk to each other. Right. You're always moving. You're just expecting the person to hear you. So we kept that a lot. We never just stood. There's no scene where we're just standing and staring into each other's eyes and having any communication.
We also brought in a lot of our personal
life
referencing and experiences of he would always tell me stories of, when Natasha will do this and, in a fight and suddenly one of us starts laughing. And that's how it happens in, and between, I think, in most relationships.
Yeah.
So, my parents would always say they do this. And we did a lot of
We brought in lots of those things. Yeah,
He's called up friends of his who on the...
No,
on the brink of, whose marriages were not in the best...
no, they're divorced now. They're
divorced. Yeah. But at the time, they were going through that divorce. And he actually called them and said, we're going through this in the film and we want to know what those emotions are like and what are you feeling. And
I actually have video clips of two people. One of a young couple who were getting divorced. I asked him what happened. And then one of a boy whose father had cheated on the mother. And I actually asked him what he went through and this and that, and he pretty much cried and laughed in the same while answering me, because you have to learn how to laugh on these things also, because for a third person, it's funny only this.
Also, you laugh out of it's also a defense, right? When the situation, sometimes in the most serious situations, you end up that it's that awkward.
No, but it is fun. It is funny for a third person.
As a situation, yes.
I'm saying people are not so sensitive when they don't know you. They would tell him almost stuff like "Teri do maaye hai," aise. I'm just saying people fool around like that in real life. This is what life is all about, and now he laughs about it because he caught his father on the phone.
He's laughing. He's become that third person who's not sensitive about it.
Yeah, it happened.
Now, of course, Raj has only made one film, right? So it's too early to talk about a directorial signature in that sense. But what's interesting about Good News as well is that part of it is very funny, very sort of situational, broad-based comedy. But then you have a monologue that Kareena does about what happens to a woman when she's pregnant, and it's very
intense
and it's very truthful, and I've never seen that in a Hindi film where you're actually acknowledging what a woman goes through and how difficult it is to carry a child, and he does this, so and in one scene Akshay's talking about how he doesn't want to have sex because mujhe potty aa rahi hai. It's such diverse kind of tonalities, but how do you deal with that as actors? How do you do it in a way that you're convincing in both the comedy as well as the emotion?
See, I feel I've known Raj, I did Humpty with him, I did Badri with him, he assisted on both these films, and his mindset is very similar, or the kind of films that he watched or he watches is very similar to what I watch or I like watching. So his referencing to me would be around that as well while doing a scene. He would, the genre of the film, he was very clear that this film is in this genre. The humor is situational. If dad's character is cracking a PJ, it is a PJ. React like a PJ. Don't you react like it's a joke, and that will be the humor. And then we even have, I know you're saying it's real, but I think the situations are filmy. but in a good way.
But in a real way.
Also,
Yeah.
Nobody's hamming,
Yeah.
no one is going.
Really.
Not
Acting.
not pakad ke rakha hai.
But you're right, Varun. It is. There are certain scenes which are filmy in the film, but when your life is filmy.
Ah,
Yeah.
Life
Exactly.
is filmy, you know. It is
Life
filmy.
is filmy.
It is filmy. Our life is.
Well,
full
his life certainly
of, no,
is.
it's full of
ऐसा तो बहुत
cliches.
कुछ हुआ है.
But how you do the filmy things and the cliche with conviction
Yeah.
is
And
very.
you find truth in it. Kiara, you, especially after now, also after Bhool Bhulaiya 2, have become this. Oh, I've seen you labeled lucky
Dream
a
girl.
lot. No, lucky.
Oh, lucky girl.
Right? Even you, Varun, on the Kapil Sharma show, you said lucky, and she turned around and said,
I
"Well,
love the
I'm
way how
talented
Kapil
too."
Sharma show is quoted everywhere. Kapil Sharma show पे आपने ये कहा. I'm not joking. I mean, it's a testimony to how
very-
popular
Watch
Kapil
it.
Sharma.
Very well.
Let the coffee with Karan start.
उधर भी बोला.
Yeah,
हाँ,
अभी
then that will be
वो-
quoted.
Then it'll be quoted. It'll be more than
It'll be, yeah, we'll have to go into hiding.
hiding.
Wait, my question is that when he said you were lucky, you sort of said, "But talent bhi hai," right? So is it almost annoying to be called lucky when you've spent 8 years trying to get where you are?
I think in this industry we end up there's a big luck factor, which I've noticed that a lot of people, you know, they have this thing, right? There's a lot of superstition, a lot of astrology. Even in
Filminess.
our we have to post at a particular time because, you know, someone said this is the time. This
Raj
post
and
comes.
Azim.
Raj, Azim, our own director. So there's a lot of this superstition attached with it. I'm a little more. I mean, I guess you need to have some destiny. So I'm thankful that, you know, the films are doing well and the audience is loving it. But naturally, of course, I mean, it's lovely to have, you know, to have that love, and yeah, luck is fine and all that. But like, definitely, talent is I don't think you can be here if you're not talented. I don't think you can get so many opportunities if you're not talented. And not to say that they don't, I know they don't mean it in that way. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just hope I'm lucky then for every other film. And they are very lucky for me in this film. And
You're lucky
let's
for
hope
us.
Yeah,
Let's just
someone
hope
told me,
that.
they said, you said, Shahid Kabir Singh. Who was in it? Kiara.
So don't say. You're continuing this. Let's not say that. Let's
So
not say
they're
that.
like, you should basically see
You're
who
not saying
you
anything. You're not saying anything.
are.
You're not saying anything.
Say nothing.
I'll say it later. I'll say it off camera.
Okay.
I will have a laugh.
So, Varun, you are celebrating 10 years in the movies. this year.
This is a way. I don't know when the people who are celebrating like 30, 40
What's
years
even
are
the year?
anything.
No. So here's my question.
Yeah.
Of course, he is like every month he's celebrating an anniversary. So it's
Yeah.
30 years of Nayak, 20 years of this, 40 years of that.
Yeah.
So it's like every month there's a Anil Kapoor film
I've
to
stopped,
celebrate.
you know.
Now you've stopped, you're done.
No, I'm not done, but I just feel we have थोड़ा break देते हैं इसको.
But you've had a very interesting sort of trajectory in the sense that for the first 5 years, it was like you could do no wrong, right? I remember lucky, yeah, to use that word. But I remember doing an interview with Arjun, and he was telling me that all of us are dealing with failure and success, and of course not Varun, because like Varun has come with something else, you know. And then the last couple of years, the films have all underperformed, right?
Yeah.
When that happens.
I mean, we've not had releases.
You haven't had releases, but when that happens, do you re-examine your own creative instincts? Do you sort of think about what you're doing? Do you look for safer things? Like maybe in a sense, JugJugg Jeeyo is where you get to be everything in terms of a mainstream hero?
See, I don't know how bizarre this will sound, but I am someone who does believe a lot in manifestation and believes in intuition and spirituality. So I almost, sounds bizarre, I almost manifested in giving a flop.
Really?
Yeah, it sounds very bizarre. I've
What
never
does
said
that
this
mean?
before.
What do you mean?
So the first couple of years, like you said, it was just working. Everything was working, and I knew it's going to work. I just knew it's going to work. And then before something didn't have to work, I knew it's not going to work. I knew this is not going to work.
So with Kalank, you knew it wouldn't connect.
Yeah, to some degree coming there, I did have a feeling. You can't say 100%, but I had a feeling. And then if you do, sometimes you do things for the wrong reason. You do a film, sometimes for money or whatever. you feel that. And then there was even a time before, it's going to sound, I got completely burnt out after Street Dancer, and I wanted to take a break almost. I didn't want to do films. I just done, because I was emotionally so exhausted after that film, after having, it was hard work doing those dances and this and that film didn't go, though the producer, it's important for me to say this also, though the producer made a lot of money on that film, and even he'll tell you, but the film didn't go to the level it should have for me.
Which film is this?
Street Dancer.
Achha.
It ended up being it's still, I mean, I'm still blessed, I feel, because it still ended up being the third highest grosser of that year, because the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
But it's still number 3 in that list. So if you take a list of the films that released. And I wanted to take a break. So I just feel like somewhere this film had to come, JugJugg Jeeyo had to come, Bhediya had to come in my life. And I had like almost manifested to work with a Nitish Tiwari, which happened then later on. And things will happen the way they have to happen. I mean, there's this poem of, or this quote of Mr. Harivarshan Rai Bachchan, which my mother always tells me, कि अगर मन का हो तो अच्छा है, और अगर मन का ना हो तो
और भी अच्छा है. Yeah.
So she's always told me this. So it's not in our control. Nobody actually knows what we are doing. What is in our control is hard work. आप काम करो बस. Result तो हमारे control में है ही नहीं, वो हो रहा है.
You know, I was speaking to Karan a couple of days ago, and he said to me that stardom of a certain kind is over. You will now have popular actors, and you will have people who are very famous, but that sort of stardom where, Shah Rukh walks into a room and the chemistry changes of that room is done. You can't have it anymore. All of you are stars. You two have been stars for decades. What do you think about that?
I think there's nothing like, it's over. I don't believe in that.
No?
There's nothing like that. There always will be someone better. Always. There will always be something better. There will always will be someone bigger than the biggest. That's the, universe, life is such. It's not that. It sounds good, that it's, this is the one and that. ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. There will always be, Elvis के बाद बोला था कि कोई होने नहीं वाला है. Then Michael Jackson came. It's not that. There will always, there are sports people, he's won 8 gold medals. And this, nobody is going to
After
ever
Sachin,
beat.
they said.
Yeah, and they said that so many, it's every profession. There's not going to be a leader like this ever, and there'll be someone who will be bigger and better. And star, of course there will be. Why?
Yeah.
Why? There'll be bigger stars. He might be bigger. He might walk in the room. He will create a sensation all over the world. Why a room? He'll be the biggest sensation in the world, on the planet.
That's true.
It's ऐसा कुछ नहीं. I don't think so.
No.
And never.
Anything
I've
is
seen it in my
possible,
entire 40-45 years of my life. I've seen, in every profession I've seen, that you see, this is it. अभी इसके बाद कुछ नहीं. अरे क्या मतलब? What do you mean? There will be someone better in every which way. As a talent, as stardom, in popularity, as a charmer, in every way. Why? Why not?
We don't know the way the world is
World is,
progressing. Yeah, we don't. Walk in? Someone might levitate into a room.
Yeah.
You'll automatically be like, कुछ भी हो सकता है.
Oh God.
That's
The
funny.
world is nobody
That's funny.
knew anything. If I could levitate, I think I would be huge right now. I'm just saying. Just figure out how I do it. That's it.
Just enjoy, have fun, make the most of it, and be grateful that you get jobs.
Exactly.
True.
That's what I believe.
Correct.
Just
Correct.
Have fun.
Correct.
And just
Correct.
move on in life.
Yeah.
Have fun.
And you, Neetu, are the living embodiment
Yeah.
of that, and it's so lovely to see you having fun.
That's it. Just enjoy yourself. Be busy. And do what you enjoy. And this is all I know in life. So I'm enjoying what I'm doing. I'm enjoying my show. I've enjoyed doing the film. I made such lovely friends for life.
And we enjoy Neetuji's company. She's not coming to our one or two
And I was never so close to.
promotion, and I said, we insisted.
We insisted
Yeah.
she comes
Use
today.
all the power. Get her.
So we were never so friendly, although we were very close. The families are very close, but I was never so close to him. But this movie has brought us close, right? More.
Well,
Okay,
I'm saying something nice.
Yeah, of course.
Why are you reacting like
No,
this?
I also said very nice things. Yeah.
Last
She knows me
question.
too well. Bhabiji knows me too well.
Babiji.
Bhabiji.
Bhabiji, huh?
I'm trying to be professional here and you're calling me Bhabiji on camera.
At least I'm not calling you Mataji.
Please, nahi.
Then
Please.
you'd walk out.
Yeah, Bhabiji. Young Bhabiji.
Young Bhabiji. I like that. I can go with that. Varun, I have to ask you this. I remember you posted this really cute video of you and your dad doing Nach Punjaban, right? And I remember you telling me this story about how when you signed Badlapur, he was very stressed.
Yeah.
And he came to you and he told you that he met Huma Qureshi on a flight and she told him कि बड़ी dark film है. And he said to Varun, अगर उसको dark लग रही है तो कितनी dark होगी? He was like really worried about you. Is he happier with your choices now?
Oh, this is so sweet.
I don't know if I can see. He's a very commercial person.
Of course.
Very is also understatement.
Yeah.
So until I don't do back to back commercial films, I don't know how happy he'll be because इसके बाद भेड़िया आ रही है. So he's happy with it, but he's very happy with the directors I'm choosing to work with because he's also realized that now I'm investing in working with just makers first, director. You know, so and that's what I'm choosing. So he's happy about that. But he can never be happy because now his track record is so like, I mean, he's given so many hits.
Yeah.
So he wants that कि तुम result दिखाओ मेरे को ये सब का वरना तुम बस बोलते रहते
I think
हो.
all fathers
And
are
he
like
wants to
that.
start his
My husband was like
film
that.
now next. So
क्या बर्फी,
हाँ.
क्या ये.
You'll be working with him again.
I'm very selfish.
You're
He's
also
actually
that
one of the most
much.
successful directors we have
Actually,
we ever had in our industry.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to let him go to anyone unless he wants to. And his other favorite actor is Rajkumar Rao. So I have to unless he takes me and Raj both in the film together.
Are you, sorry Neetu, are you saying all fathers are like that?
All fathers are like that. My husband was like that with Ranveer. क्या बर्फी कर रहे हो? क्या ये movie? Now, you know all those
Yeah.
kind
But
of
Dad
movies.
loved JugJugg. He's loved JugJugg.
But nee, I'm saying all fathers are like that. They're very critical. They wanted
Yeah.
to do commercial. He loved Ajab Prem, you know, that kind of movies.
Right.
So which was commercially viable.
But not necessarily only like I mean both Rishiji and David sir
They're from
are
that-
from the
those
film.
generation.
And even my dad not being in the industry, but he also
also
loves
likes
this
the-
school, so he feels
Yeah.
very
He
happy
loves the
when
commercial
JugJugg
films,
and all
yeah.
comes.
Yeah,
and the
that
minute
too.
I do a guilty and all, he doesn't understand
Exactly.
it. It's very difficult
That's
for
what
him
it
to.
And
is.
he's actually told me
Yeah.
also.
Yeah.
You're happy,
Rajneeti.
Manju, be happy.
Happy.
Do
Yeah,
do
be
why
happy.
are you doing that?
Rajneeti.
He hated what? Sorry.
Rajneeti.
Oh, Rajneeti. Huh.
Such a
Prakash is watching this
Praka-
interview.
No, but it was
But
a
it
big
did
hit.
so big hit.
It was a big
No,
hit.
but I
I'm
know.
saying it
But
was
still,
his.
The director
bad
wants that
judgment.
Yeah.
it should be a big hit also,
They're
people
bad.
should love the film.
This is a question
I
you should
loved
ask
it.
him
Huh.
because actually the parallel cinema movement is started
It's
by
Harsh.
Harsh. in this
Correct.
country,
That's
so you should
exactly
ask
what I
him
was
this
asking
question.
him.
Are you the dad who says commercial?
No, I'll tell you what, I feel for me, it's not that I'm also growing as a parent.
Yeah.
I'm also learning. So it's not that I am born as a good parent or born as a good father. But what I ultimately have come to a situation after whatever I've learned in being a parent and being a father is that ultimately you should be happy what makes my son happy, makes my child happy.
Yeah.
If doing Thar or Spotlight and Bhavesh is making him happy, ultimately the kind of positive reaction he's getting, that makes me happy. He's not into a situation where he wants to do things. He wants to do films which he would love to watch. That's his personality. मैं कितना भी उसको चेंज करने की कोशिश करूँ होने नहीं वाला. So why
But
should
as
I?
a father, you want him.
No, but
to
he's
do
saying
things.
he's evolving.
But what
and
is
accepting.
what will make him
He's
happy?
progressing in
Yeah.
that sense.
You want your son's happiness.
Yeah, son's
Yeah.
happiness. Yeah. Abhi, and of course, I would be happy that.
Sometimes you feel that kids don't know, they're going the wrong track.
No, I
They
do
should-
that. But what happens is if I do that, I'll make him more unhappy.
Yeah.
Yeah, very true.
You can't
You know, if
put
I
your dreams
put
on
pressure
them.
on him,
Learn
I'll make him more
his
It's a
unhappy.
big
way.
thing to realize this.
Realize
Because
that.
I am also learning कि यार कैसे tackle करना है इसको
Yeah.
ये situation.
It's a difficult situation.
It's a difficult situation. I am also learning. It's not that I know everything. I can't use what other fathers have done with their children. It won't work.
But you know, as
It
a
won't work. It'll backfire.
as an actor who's actually senior to Harsh, I have to say this because I've not been able to say this in an interview, that I'm actually very happy with the last couple of films he's done, whether it's been Ray, whether it's been AK versus AK, Bhavesh, Thar now. I think he's really picking interesting films and he's creating a base of his own, you know. And it's like I loved him in Ray. I loved him in AK versus AK, what he did.
AK was
very
He was outstanding, and I told Anil, I don't know how happy he was, but I told him Harsh I thought he stole the show in that
Yeah.
scene. He was
That
बहुत अच्छा
scene
था.
he did
He's
so
not
well.
reacting to
He's
this
not-
right now.
Anil sir is just looking away.
No, no,
He was very good in that.
yeah, of
He
course.
was very
You know,
good.
but obviously, and I was worried.
But,
Then, like I said, like I'm worried about that. कि you just got one scene, yeah.
but
And one scene you can go wrong. So यार ये मैंने बोला यार ये दो
पर
मैं
उसमें-
तो नहीं करता. I would never do. If someone says यार Anil Kapoor hero है picture का or you're Anil Kapoor's son and Anil Kapoor's the whole film is around you, you come and do 1.5 scene. I would never do it. It's too scary. Yeah. That day you might not
But
be
he
well.
had the conviction and
he had the
confidence.
conviction, and
Yeah.
he told me, he said मैंने वो पूरा rehearse किया था because it's non-stop.
He
That's
rehearsed it, but he could go
Yeah.
wrong, na.
Yeah.
And he knew कि if it goes wrong, film को फर्क नहीं पड़ेगा. He'll just cut the scene out. And if that scene was cut out, it would have not made a difference to the film.
So sometimes it's that one scene in a film that can really
was damn
make
good.
you and
No,
give
but
you that.
you have to. It's not.
It's not easy, but yeah.
I'm telling you, being honest, the biggest franchise in the world, I can't name it, has been offered to me with just 2 days of work. So I read the scene. एक तो मेरे को scene समझ भी नहीं आया क्या है. You know, मेरे scene समझ नहीं आ रहा. Then the director of that franchise called me up that I want you to do it. And entire foreign friends of mine, I said, just if you can have this film in your resume, that's enough. I said, I'm not going to do it. I said, एक तो मेरे को scene समझ में नहीं आ रहा. And if I go wrong in that day, I'll be exposed all over the planet.
You won't. I have to say that I cannot wait to see this film, and thank you so much.